Welcome to episode 14 of American Podcast Federation from Studio 1615. I am Ted the Ranger Irvin. We have an action-packed filled episode for you. Matt Boyd defending his prestigious championship tonight. And right now making his way down the ring is Brian Stevens, having a matchup against Brian Courageous. Now Brian Courageous now making his way down the ring, a 5-time world champion. And both men now in the ring to start off this episode from Studio 1615. Oh, and Brian Stevens with a forearm straight off to Courageous. And attacking Courageous in the hamstring. Going for a DDT attempt. And a single leg takedown. Goes for an uppercut. Oh, now Courageous was offense in with putting him on the ropes. Irish whips him on the other side. And Stevens with the counter. And now Courageous now Irish whips Stevens over the top rope. And forearm to Courageous. Stevens getting back in the ring. Now Courageous getting a turn over the top rope. And onto the floor he goes. And Stevens going after him with stomps in the midsection. And a forearm. Continues with the forearm. And a drop kick. Telling him to get up. Stomping the back. Oh, Courageous gut shot and breaking up the ref's count at 5. Oh, an averted DDT to Courageous and a pinfall attempt. And Courageous kicks out at 2. And now with the armbar. And Courageous does not want any of that as he gets out of that quickly. And a fireman's carry to Courageous. Scoop slam. Face plant. And going for the pinfall attempt. Only 2. And now the scissors headlock, but Courageous quickly getting out of that. Going for a suplex attempt. Face planting instead. Rolls him over. Going for a submit. Breaking the knee. Going for a knee elbow to the back of the spine of Stevens. And a sidewalk slam. And forearms. Stomping Stevens. And a jawbreaker to Courageous. And going for the pinfall. Oh, almost a 3, but Courageous kicks out at the last second. And kicking the back. American Podcast Federation has action for you. As Courageous gets the knee to the face. A sidewalk slam to Courageous. A pinfall attempt. Kicks out. And another jawbreaker to that one, keeps him on his feet. And a bottom end. And Courageous kicks out at 2 after the bottom end. Jab to the back. Tosses him across the ring. Going back to the top rope for extra measure. Elbow to the chest. Forearms. Elbow to the ribs of Stevens. And Stevens now Irish whipping. It's Courageous in the turnbuckle. And another Irish whip into the turnbuckle. And a British Bulldog. And now he goes for the pinfall. And Stevens beats Courageous. And now for a prestigious championship. Making his way down now are the prestigious champion, Matt the Billionaire Boyd. Championship he's ever won is the best cosplay. His first ever championship is in the American Podcast Federation from Studio 1615. The prestigious championship on the line in this episode 14. And now Taylor Reigns making his way down to the ring. I'm not sure why Taylor Reigns and not Kevin Journey is getting a shot at the championship. Ref hoisting up the prestigious championship. Both men in, square off, tie up, and Taylor Reigns throwing down our prestigious champion into a headlock. And now Matt Boyd getting out of that and putting that into his headlock of his own. With powering out Taylor Reigns, throws him into the ropes, ducks under it, and a drop kick to Taylor Reigns. And both men attempting drop kicks at one another. And now Matt Boyd Irish whips him in a forearm to Taylor Reigns. Whew, this would be a lot easier with another broadcast partner, but I could do this. But drop kicking Matt Boyd now and throwing his head into the mat. DDT. Oh, and a double leg takedown to Reigns. And knee to the chest of Reigns, and Boyd going for a pinfall. Oh, and Reigns kicking out. Reigns beat Matt Boyd last episode in a one-on-one competition. Reigns has an opportunity for the championship, but now Reigns in control, Irish whipping him into the ropes. Matt Boyd forearm to Reigns, going for the camel clutch submission to Reigns, and Reigns slips out and gut shot to Matt Boyd. Irish whips him into the turnbuckle. And a suplex to Reigns. And a knee, just stomping with the knee to the back of the head of Reigns. And Reigns with the fireman's carry. He's going for the pinfall. And a Chrono Crusher. Knee to the back of the spine to Matt Boyd, and Reigns going to the second rope, elbow drop from the second rope, and a clothesline to Boyd, and stomping, going for the pinfall. We're gonna have a new prestigious, no, Matt Boyd saves his prestigious championship. Tilt-a-whirl slam. Going for the pinfall and kicks out. Going for a DDT, but Matt Boyd bookend into an anaconda. Will Reigns tap out? No, he slips out. Oh. And Reigns quickly with the jabs and a sidewalk slam to Matt Boyd. And going into pin our prestigious champion. Oh, Matt Boyd kicks out at 2. Irish whips him in the turnbuckle. Ryan Baines on the assault. And stomping Matt Boyd into a powerbomb. Pulls him from the bottom rope into a powerbomb slam. And now he's on the second rope in with the elbow drop. And both men back on their feet and a double leg takedown. And a single leg takedown to the billionaire, or prestigious billionaire Matt Boyd. And kicks to the chest to Reigns. Irish whips him into the turnbuckle. Tossing him into the turnbuckle, into a suplex. Goes for the pinfall. And Matt Boyd keeping hold tight of his prestigious championship. Drop kick to the back of Matt Boyd. Reigns is on fire. Knee to the back of the spine. And dropping the elbow onto the knee. Lifting up Matt Boyd. Irish whips Matt Boyd into the turnbuckle. Hoists Matt Boyd onto the top turnbuckle this time. Suplex off the top rope. And going for the pinfall. Does not get the 3 count. Oh! And the Reno Street Stomp. And the pinfall attempt. Will we have a new prestigious champion? Oh, kick out at 2. And now Taylor Reigns Irish whips Boyd into the turnbuckle and forearms into the back of the spine of our prestigious champion. And the turnbuckle suplex. Taylor Reigns, you can tell on his face, what does he have to do to become the prestigious champion? These competitors have put it out on the line for a prestigious championship of American Podcast and a pinfall attempt. Oh my God. And now, forearm to the back of Matt Boyd. What action we have. Oh, and another Reno Street Stomp. Homage to Connor the Crusher. Going for the pinfall. And kick out at 2. Baseball slide. Going for the pinfall attempt. Kick out at 2. Another Reno Street Stomp. And going to the pinfall attempt. And Taylor Reigns is our new prestigious champion of American Podcast Federation, dedicating this match to Connor the Crusher, a 4-time champion, 1-time world Indian champion, and now your new prestigious champion, Taylor Reigns. And this is not even the end of the episode of 14. We have a first ever matchup, a ladder match, which will be a contract for the prestigious champion. 6 competitors will be fighting for the prestigious contract over the middle of the ring right now. And our first competitor making his way down the ring, the first ever prestigious champion, the longest reigning prestigious champion, Kevin Journey. Feel like Kevin Journey should have been in the prestigious championship instead of Taylor Reigns, and Taylor Reigns should have been in this prestigious contract match. Now, White Black making his way down the ring. What interesting booking decisions. American Podcast Federation from Studio 1615 are making. Kenny Johnson now making his way down to the ring. Not only do we have a first ever 6-man ladder match, but it will be for a prestigious contract. Now our anti-Canadian Eric Jacobs making his way down the ring. This is setting out to be an exciting, prestigious contract match. Whoever grabs the contract gets guaranteed a prestigious championship match whenever they choose to. I can't believe Lee is missing out on this historic first ever match of American Podcast Federation. And now Michael Cage making his way down to the ring. And the Soviet Russian himself, Dilgus Ludwig. Could he get the prestigious contract? No limitations. I will do my best to call the action from Studio 1615 with this prestigious contract match. And the matchup begins as Journey going on the assault to Dilges Ludwig. This is an all-out match. I'm not sure where to begin. Michael Cage, Wyatt Black on the outside of the ring. Eric Jacobs, Kenny Johnson going one-on-one with each other. Kevin Journey, Dilges Ludwig setting up their rivalry from a couple episodes ago. And a clothesline to Dilges Ludwig from Kevin Journey. A leg drop to Jacobs, our anti-Canadian. DDT to Dilges Ludwig. And there's a ladder already in the ring. Thrown in by Wyatt Black. And a hip toss to Dilges Ludwig. Forearm to Dilges Ludwig. Double leg drop to Dilges Ludwig. And Wyatt Black, Irish whip, Dilges Ludwig into the turnbuckle. Eric Jacobs in control over Kenny Johnson on the other side of the ring. And Michael Cage with the chair, throwing it at Wyatt Black and hip toss onto the chair. Single leg takedown to Dilges Ludwig and Kevin Journey on the offense with the ladder now. About to hit Dilges, but Dilges Ludwig counters. And Samoan drop onto the ladder to Kevin Journey. DDT to Dilges Ludwig in the middle of the ring. Kenny Johnson, Eric Jacobs still going at it. Michael Cage throwing Wyatt Black in the ring now. Michael Cage in the Wyatt Black suplex to Dilges Ludwig. Leg drop to Michael Cage from Journey. And now it looks like we're getting a little Irish whipping Kevin Journey over the top rope as Wyatt Black does, and clotheslining him on the floor. And now Wyatt Black, Michael Cage in the ring. Dilges Ludwig getting out of the ring, getting the steel steps. Suplex to Wyatt Black from Kevin Journey. Dilges Ludwig throwing in the steps. Eric Jacobs with the ladder onto Michael Cage, and Dilges Ludwig throwing the ladders. Two ladders, still chairs, all men in the ring. What action from American Podcast Federation. And now Wyatt Black throwing a ladder at Eric Jacobs and going over the top rope. Dilges Ludwig powerbombing Michael Cage onto the mat. Wyatt Black tossing Eric Jacobs over the top rope onto the ladder. Wyatt Black going to get the ladder and throwing it back in the ring. So much action going on. Kevin Journey throwing Kenny Johnson over the top rope and going over Kenny Johnson, dragging Kevin Journey out of the ring as well. And a suplex to Dilges Ludwig. And now Kenny Johnson with the attempt at kicking Kevin Journey and throwing the ladder. I don't know if that was a wise decision, throwing the ladder out of the ring, but now he's also throwing out Kenny Johnson and Dilges Ludwig. A suplex to Kevin Journey. There's so much action going on in American Podcast Federation from Studio 1615. Our first ever 6-man ladder match for a prestigious contract and our prestigious champion. And now all men in the ring. Kevin Journey with the steel steps, wielding them all over the place. Dilges Ludwig, Kenny Johnson putting up the ladder, going up on the ladder, and Dilges Ludwig shaking the ladder and throwing it down. And Kevin Journey assaulting Kenny Johnson now after falling. Wyatt Black, Michael Cage on the mat. And Kevin Journey with the ladder now, hitting Dilges and setting the ladder up. Johnson now taking the ladder, tug of war with the ladder. And Kevin Journey setting up the ladder underneath the contract. Irish whips him over the top rope. Kevin Journey gets forearm from Dilgus Ludwig. Kenny Johnson tossing over Michael Cage over the top rope. Eric Jacobs, Wyatt Black in the middle of the ring, and Wyatt Black with the ladder now. Going, Kevin Journey throwing lawn dart style ladder into the ring and tossing Dilgus Ludwig over the top rope. Ladder is down. All men in the ring. We're in the ring as Eric Jacobs tosses over Kenny Johnson. Michael Cage gets tossed over the ropes. Dilgus Ludwig standing tall, lifting up Kevin Journey. Irish whips him over the top rope. Holds on though. And forearm to Dilgus Ludwig. Pops back over the rope. And Eric Jacobs now throwing over Kevin Journey. And Michael Cage going to the top of the ladder but gets knocked down by Wyatt Black. Almost did not see Michael Cage almost winning. Michael Cage now getting Irish whipped over the top rope. Fireman's carry to Wyatt Black. Kenny Johnson, Kevin Journey sliding back into the ring at the same time. Kevin Journey going on the assault. Biggest threat in this match, Dilgus Ludwig tossing him over the top rope. Wyatt Black interrupting that, letting Dilgus Ludwig get back in. But he now Irish whips him over the top rope. Michael Cage on the floor. And Dilgus Ludwig suplexes Kevin Journey from the inside of the ring onto the floor. And now Kevin Journey back in the ring after that suplex. And now throwing Dilgus over the top rope. Forearm just drop kicking him onto the floor. Wyatt Black tossing Michael Cage onto the ladder. And Kevin Journey rolling out of the ring, going back to the assault to Dilgus Ludwig. These two have a vendetta apparently. And Kenny Johnson with the ladder taking away from Dilgus Ludwig, and now Dilgus Ludwig Irish whipping him into Eric Jacobs. And Kenny Johnson Irish whipping Dilgus over the top rope. Kevin Journey Irish whips Michael Cage over the top rope. Gets the ladder. Hits Dilgus Ludwig in the face with the ladder. Eric Jacobs suplexing Wyatt Black off the top rope. Dangling from the rope. And Dilgus Ludwig cut open. Dilgus Ludwig bleeding. Irish whipping Michael Cage over the top rope is Kevin Journey getting Irish whipped in the turnbuckles. And Kenny Johnson tossing Dilgus Ludwig over the top rope onto the floor. And Kenny Johnson with the ladder now, setting it up, but going outside the ring. Irish whipping Eric Jacobs out of the ring. Ladder is set up in the middle of the ring, under the contract, with men to win this match. But Kenny Johnson taking down the ladder and using it as a weapon against Eric Jacobs and Kevin Journey. Wyatt Black tossing Kevin Journey over the top rope, and the ladder gets just thrown out of the ring, and a drop kick to Wyatt Black. Kevin Journey now in the ring, using the ladder, attempting to use the ladder. Kenny Johnson taking it from him. Irish whips Kenny Johnson in the turnbuckle, putting Kenny Johnson on the top turnbuckle, going for the suplex, barely hitting the ladder. Wyatt Black, Dilgus Ludwig, Michael Cage at the same time, struggling, and Kevin Journey sees that he's going. Kenny Johnson is dangling from the contract, and Dilgus Ludwig powerbombs him. Kevin Journey on the shoulders of Wyatt Black. Michael Cage has the ladder, tossing it over. Kevin Journey tossing the other one. Do you not realize you have to use the ladder to win the match? It needs to stay in the ring. And Kevin Journey realizes that, and he's throwing it back in the ring. A lot of jumping over the top ropes. Kenny Johnson now with the steps, hitting Eric Jacobs, our anti-Canadian. And now Kevin Journey putting up the ladder, rolling out his shoulder. Little shoulder injury going on there, but Kevin Journey gets Michael Cage on his shoulders. Airplane spin to Michael Cage. And just tossing Cage on Wyatt Black, throwing over Dilgus Ludwig. Kevin Journey throwing over Michael Cage. Kenny Johnson throwing over Eric Jacobs over the top ropes. All men back in the ring now. Kevin Journey throwing over Michael Cage, now over the top rope. Dilgus Ludwig, face plant from Kevin Journey. Stops. Michael Cage with the ladder, putting it down. Eric Jacobs, armbar attempt to Dilgus Ludwig. Eric Jacobs gets thrown over the top rope. Kenny Johnson going after the assault. Dilgus Ludwig, powerbomb into the turnbuckle. Kevin Journey bringing back a ladder into the ring. Kevin Journey hitting Dilgus Ludwig with the ladder. Very classy, they only have 2 ladders. A lot of places would have multiple ladders, and this would be a lot more difficult to call with multiple ladders. Irish whips Dilgus Ludwig over the top turnbuckle. And forearm to Dilgus Ludwig. And Kenny Johnson with the ladder. Hitting everyone in sight with the ladder. Wyatt Black tossing over Michael Cage. Getting the ladder. Setting it up. For some odd reason, leaving the ring. And Kevin Journey Irish whips Michael Cage into the ladder. Neck breaker from the second rope to Eric Jacobs. Dilgus Ludwig now. Suplex to Kenny Johnson. Journey, our first ever prestigious champion. Kevin Journey with the steel steps. Trying to clear house. Eric Jacobs cut open. Dilgus Ludwig cut open. Steel steps being thrown everywhere. And Kenny Johnson with the assault to Eric Jacobs with the ladder. With Dilgus Ludwig. And Michael Cage bulldog to Dilgus Ludwig. Kevin Journey, Wyatt Black in the middle of the ring. No ladder. Journey goes out to grab a ladder. Kevin Journey doing push-ups on Kenny Johnson on the outside of the ring. Kevin Journey showing off so much, forgetting this is a ladder match. And Michael Cage was almost arm's reach from the contract for Taylor Reigns' prestigious championship. Eric Jacobs tossing Dilgus Ludwig over the ring. Kenny Johnson with the ladder, dropping it. Michael Cage belly to belly on the ladder. Kevin Journey getting into the ring now, going out to get the ladder. Bring it back in. Both ladders in the ring now. DDT from the second rope from Johnson to Michael Cage. And the Three Amigo clothesline in the middle of the ring to Wyatt Black. Wyatt Black, Irish whipping Journey into the turnbuckle now. Getting thrown over the top rope. Kevin Journey, push-ups on Eric Jacobs' back. And Michael Cage with the contract and a powerbomb from Dilgus Ludwig. And now Kevin Journey on the assault to Eric Jacobs, belly to belly. Michael Cage, Dilgus Ludwig on the side of the ring. And a suplex, or a slam on the side of the ring to Michael Cage from Dilgus Ludwig. Fireman's carry to Eric Jacobs. The uglier to Eric Jacobs. Dilgus Ludwig with the ladder. Hitting Kenny Johnson. Forearm to Dilgus Ludwig from Kevin Journey. And Kevin Journey cut open now from a DDT. Irish whipping Journey in the turnbuckle. Wyatt Black tossing the ladder back into the ring. Kevin Journey getting tossed over the top rope. Face plant to Wyatt Black for Michael Cage. Dilgus Ludwig is assaulting Kevin Journey. Neck breaker to Eric Jacobs. Wyatt Black with the ladder. Dilgus Ludwig just vicious assaults to Kevin Journey on the outside of the ring. And now Kevin Journey throwing Dilgus Ludwig back in the ring. Kevin Journey getting a ladder and throwing it over the top rope. These men are just assaulting one another for a prestigious championship in a sense. It's just a contract to become a prestigious champion. These men want to be a champion. And a DDT, Kenny Johnson And Michael Cage from the top rope suplexing Dilgus Ludwig on a ladder. Wyatt Black hip toss over the top rope to Kevin Journey. And now Kevin Journey out the outside of the ring. Eric Jacobs with the ladder set up. Inches from slips off the top rope, off the top ladder. And now Michael Cage going for it. Inches from it. Just grab it. Just get it. Kenny Johnson throwing Eric Jacobs. And now Michael Cage just dropping down. He was so exhausted he could not grab the contract. Who has enough left in them to get the prestigious contract? Kevin Journey cleaning house. Kenny Johnson in the ring now. Eric Jacobs. All men now in the ring. Irish whipping Eric Jacobs into the ladder. Over the top rope now. Finishers after finishers. Ladder has been pushed out of the ring. Kevin Journey just throwing Eric Jacobs. Michael Cage over the top rope. Wyatt Black going to get the ladder. Dilgus Ludwig throwing Kenny Johnson over the top rope. Kevin Journey over the top rope. Forearm to Eric Jacobs. And we have three ladders now. Hopefully one of these will be used to get this contract. And a suplex from the top rope from Eric Jacobs to Kevin Journey. Kevin Journey Irish whips Eric Jacobs over the top rope, and Wyatt Black tossing Kevin Journey over the top rope. Wyatt Black, the only man in the ring, getting the ladder. Not quick enough to get the ladder, put it up as Dilgus Ludwig gets thrown back in the ring. Michael Cage now, Kenny Johnson, and Wyatt Black now with the contract. Just Wyatt Black, the winner of our prestigious contract match. He has the opportunity to face our new prestigious champion, Taylor Reigns. What an episode of American Podcast Federation from Studio 1615. What will episode 15 bring for us? I am Ted the Ranger Irvin. Till next episode.